Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Orangeville High School here. Kyle Leach on your Area Sports Leader WCCI. Joined in the booth today by Joe Letty. Thanks for making the trip up here today, Joe.
Absolutely. You couldn't have asked me on a better day. Beautiful high sky, nice breeze up here on top of the hill in Orangeville.
Yep, nice and cozy up here in the booth here today. One window does open, but I don't have a speaker to look around today, so no. Appreciate the hospitality. It's always top-notch here at Orangeville. They feed us. They welcome us. We love it.
We're up here in the penthouse. We got a box fan and a fly swatter. Who could ask for anything more?
Yeah, the AD Todd Kramer's taking real good care of us. So, yeah, it's been a good trip up here. And like you said, an absolutely gorgeous day for football. Could heat cramps be an issue today with the warmer weather today, Joe? Is that a concern if you're one of the coaches?
Absolutely. You're looking on the sidelines, and we do see some jerseys in street clothes. So the injury bug has bitten both teams a little bit here. And neither one of these teams is particularly deep. We got 17 players on the roster for Orangeville. And like I said, I've seen at least one jersey in jeans today. 23 on the roster for Milledgeville. I'm not sure if they bring all of them on their road trips. But one of the things you have to manage, especially in small school football, is the heat, the weather, the injuries, the next man up. The next man up philosophy. Milledgeville's doing that in their backfield with the field general. Their starting quarterback today is freshman Kyson Francis due to an injury to their junior quarterback, Evan Shank. So next man up attitude is always key in high school football.
Yeah, Milledgeville and their long history of football numbers have not always been – they've never always had a lot of depth, Joe, as it continues as an 8-man. But, yeah, they're thin. But, yeah, the talent they got is pretty good in the initial starting 8 and a few deeper. But, yeah, Kyson looked real good at Alden Hebron. About as good as a freshman could look seeing his first varsity start. But when you got Connor Johnson, Micah Tom Smith, Spencer Nye, it makes things pretty easy as a quarterback as well.
Absolutely. You got a good coaching staff behind your back, keeping you calm, making sure you're prepared. So he's had a full week of practice, getting all the snaps. So freshmen's mature quick when they got the ball in the hand, especially with the quarterback. He's got the makeup and the mentality to keep the offense rolling.
Yep, well, some area scores from last night in 11-man NUIC action last night. Dupec blanked Dakota 46-0. Galena knocked off Forreston in a great game, 19-18. Fulton went to EPC and lost 46-22. Lee Wynn got past Stockton. That was a battle all night long, 30-14. And Morrison dropped their first 2 games in NUIC action. We're 0-2, so they decided to go get out of NUIC and go down, take a 6A team, Galesburg, on, and they knocked off Galesburg 31-14. That just shows you the strength of the NUIC, Joe.
Absolutely. Some telling things last night. Like you said, Stockton hung tough with an excellent, once again, Lee Wynn team. Coming into the season, some people may have had some questions about EPC and if they were ready to step through the threshold to back to some dominance and in the NUIC. I think they answered a lot of questions last night. Dupec, Roland, Dakota, they're in an attitude of hang on and rebuild and get back to what they expect to put on the field year in, year out. Galena Forreston game, that was an excellent game. I happened to be there. There was a lot of really good, excellent defense in that game, a bunch of long runs from Galena. I believe the young man Schumacher probably slept in a little bit this morning for all the carries and yards he got last night. So, once again, NUIC football is the class in Illinois in small school football.
Yeah, just a gauntlet. It's going to be a race if you can get to 5 wins. Like, just get in the playoffs because nobody's going to want to see an NUIC team in the playoff field. But that's what that Forreston, all those matchups weekly is who can get to 5 wins because there's going to be a very good 3-6 team that doesn't make the playoffs.
You know, that the rest of the state loves that the I8FA is still going to quadrants in playoff, top to bottom. You know, there have been a lot of years where the NUIC deserved to have 2 teams in the state championship game, and I'm not sure this year's any different.
Yep, absolutely. Other 8-man action or other scores around the area last night. West Carroll improves to 3-0. They knocked off AFC 57-8. Polo blanked Kirkland Hiawatha and Polo homecoming 54-0. South Beloit knocked off River Ridge 54-14. Amboy blanked Galva 60-0. And then other scores, 11-man action around the area. Newman beat Erie Prophetstown 41-13. UT fell at Sterling 27-26. And Bureau Valley knocked off Lewistown 46-16.
We were talking about that Sterling game on the way here. We're not just NUIC fans, we're high school football fans. And Sterling won on a blocked field goal or extra point attempt at the end of the game. And Sterling has been struggling on offense to score some points, so they decided to score 2 touchdowns on punt returns last night. So a lot of exciting action in the area.
Yep, speaking of punt returns, I would be shocked today if Orangeville kicks the ball deep at all or anywhere near number 6 for the Missiles, Micah Tom Smith. He's been electric. Every time he's touched the ball, AFC found out week 1. It's not a wise decision. But for our sake, I hope they give him a shot with right down the middle of the field to start the game.
In this age of technology, it was very obvious that Alden Hebron had watched some game film before last week because their punter pretty much turned his back to his own sideline and was punting straight to the sideline to try to hold down the Missiles. And then later in the game, when we had some subs in, I see that some of the younger guys went ahead and ran one back. So Milledgeville has always hung a heavy hat on special teams, and nothing has changed with this current team.
Yeah, that punter last week is, like you said, he picked a teammate out on the sideline and aimed for him. And he did a good job of limiting the Missiles.
There was a coach with a crosshairs, I think, on the sideline for him.
All right, we're going to step away for the national anthem. Then we'll be back for starting lineups and kickoff right here on your sports leader, WCCI. Welcome back to Orangeville High School, up on the second level here of the Crow's Nest, perched at midfield here at Orangeville High School. The traditional day game, as they still don't have lights up here, but I always enjoy a Saturday afternoon game, Joe.
Absolutely.
As I'm going to go over starting lineups, first for the Orangeville Broncos, we got Paxton Bastian at quarterback, running back Hayden Schofield, a sophomore, wide receiver Brock Comprood, a sophomore, tight end Oscar Bissell, a sophomore, tight end Bowden Gustafson, a senior, offensive line Mason Conroe is a sophomore, center Nathan Briggs, a sophomore, and Aiden Myers, a senior. Defensively, on the defensive line, it's Myers, Conroe, and Briggs. Linebackers Schofield, Comprood, Gustafson, defense Prude, a sophomore, and Oscar Bissell, a sophomore as well, coached by Scott Jones, assisted by Adam Rodeball and Mike Wells. For the Missiles here offensively, quarterback Kyson Francis, a 5'10", 155-pound freshman. Running back Micah Tom Smith, a 5'11", 180-pound senior. Fullback Spencer Nye, 5'5", 160-pound junior. Tight end Connor Johnson, 6 foot, 180-pound junior. Tight end Carter Livingood, 6 foot, 205-pound junior. Guard Caleb Sarber, 5'4", 145-pound junior. Center Jackson Sidmore, 5'10", 230-pound senior. And guard Dalton Adamek, a 6'1", 230-pound senior. Defensively along the line is Livingood, Sidmore, and Adamek. Linebackers are Tom Smith, Sarber, 9. Cornerback Benny Mickelson, a 5'11", 150-pound junior. Connor Johnson, the other cornerback. That's head coach Jason Roble, assisted by Brad Grenoble, Austin Caravia, Cal Engelkins, Cameron Daughtine, Ryan Kendall, and Cody Druce. Lots of underclassmen both ways here, Joe, in the starting lineups.
Absolutely. That's how you build your program. Get younger guys in when you can. Getting ready for kickoff at midfield at the coin toss, led by our referee, Roy Snyder. Our umpire is Kevin Behringer. Matt Martin's the line judge. Cole Behringer is the back judge. And Mark Lee is the linesman.
Had to switch sides there, team switch sides, but yeah.
Milledgeville won the toss and has deferred their choice to the second half. Excuse me, that is completely wrong. They won the toss and have elected to receive. So Tom Smith back deep to return.
Coach Roble going to try to set the tone of the game on the offensive end.
Let's see if he even has a prayer here.
Squib kick to Connor Johnson about the 33-yard line. Up across the 40, and going to have a horse collar or a face mask right away. Got his helmet ripped off there by Bastian. 22. That was a no-doubter there, Joe.
Kind of remove all doubt if there's a penalty when there's a helmet rolling around the field. Thank goodness there wasn't still a head in it.
So Missiles will have good field position across into Bronco territory, I do believe. Somewhere near the 45-yard line.
We're going to go from the 40 of Orangeville to the 40 of Milledgeville to the 45 of Orangeville.
It's always like having you in the booth with me, my rules expert, Mike, or version of Mike Pereira. Well, WCCI today.
Let's hope I'm not put to the test. Let's have a nice, quiet day on that front.
Francis under center, I formation behind him, Nye and Tom Smith in the backfield. Orangeville in their black uniforms today. Black jerseys, black pants, purple helmets with a yellow Bronco on the side of the helmet. Francis now goes back to the shotgun formation. Gonna swing it out to Tom Smith. Tom Smith drops the initial pass, and smart move there by Francis. They blew it dead, but he went running to that ball because you never know in that situation,
Absolutely.
Joe.
Anytime there's a pass thrown in the backfield, you're left to the perception of the referee, because he's not standing right on that latitude that you throw the ball. So good hustle by Francis to jump on that. Once again, removing all doubt.
1st and 10.
Tom Smith saw some green grass, and I think he ran before he caught it.
2nd and 10 now for the Missiles. Once again, I formation. Gonna hand it to Spencer Nye. Nye spin, hits the circle button, get the 40, the 30, the 25, down inside the 20, rumbling down near the 10-yard line, a gain of about 35 yards. Nice move in the open field there by Spencer Nye, Joe.
Spencer cheat code Nye puts the spin move. And remember, kids, you want to put on that spin move right at the beginning of contact. You do that too early, you got a face full of tackler.
Nice gain about down to the 11, so it's not going to be 1st and goal. Be 1st and 10 from the 11, so gain of 34 there for Spencer. As the Missiles are Marengo on the scoreboard. If you do get a view of the scoreboard on our YouTube broadcast, it's NWI versus Marengo. The Missiles will be Francis Johnson wide open for a Missile touchdown. That's a pretty easy throw there for the freshman, Joe.
Well, when you have to have so much respect for that ground game, you're going to have some folks bite on that play fake to Tom Smith. Leaves for Milledgeville just to very nonchalantly kind of make his way down the field, so you're not paying attention to him, and you get burnt.
2-point conversion, going to go Wildcat. Johnson in to take the direct snap. He's going to run off the left side. Right side gets behind Adamek, and he is in. 2-point conversion, good. 11:33 here to go in the opening quarter. Milledgeville 8, Orangeville 0. We'll be back in 60 seconds on Area Sports Leader WCCI.
At Country Financial, we enjoy serving the community in which we live, big or small.
I love living in the Blandonsville area. It's where I grew up, went to school, and decided to raise my family. I never had a desire to live or work anywhere other than in a small town. I feel lucky to help my longtime friends and neighbors with their insurance needs. It's like working with family every day.
I'm Brett Powell, your local Country Financial representative, whose door is always open to work with you.
Looking for top-notch local computer sales and repair services? Call Adams Experts in Quincy at 217-214-3423 for fast, friendly, and affordable assistance. We make technology work. That's Adams Experts, your go-to when your computer goes down.
Welcome back to Orangeville High School. The Missiles march it right down the field, a little help by a penalty. And Nye and Johnson and Francis did the rest of the work from there, Joe. Great opening start for the Missiles.
Just picking up right where they left off. Milledgeville averaging 75 points a game. Doesn't look like they've lost the location of the accelerator pedal.
Yep, got my dad just checked in. He's listening. Blaine Kappas checked in. He's listening as well. Got to sneak down to Bureau Valley and watch one of his games, a coach down there at the Storm. The kick picked up about the 25-yard line, up to the 35. You get a number 38 there. White. Sarber in there on the stop. It's always good to see other Milledgeville grads moving on elsewhere. We always like them to come back as well if needed. But yeah, we've got several. Kappa's down at Bureau Valley. Downey's up in Stockton. I think is Williams still at UT. I think people were saying.
That's the last report we got. Milledgeville throws a long shadow when it comes to the coaching ranks.
Yep. Now shotgun formation. Running backs on both sides. Bastion going to keep it. Nice gainer. Let's Schofield gets a start in there. He will take some direct snaps kind of out of their Wildcat. Sarber on the stop for the Missiles. Gain of about 7.
Broncos taking advantage of some speed there. Good penetration defensively by the D-line. Ran by the ball carrier. Had to rely on linebackers to clean up the play.
Yeah, Hayden Schofield, a sophomore. He's an electric player here for the Broncos in his own right. They battled the Missiles in the playoffs. It was a very close game through one half down there at Milledgeville last year. Really put a scare into them before the Missiles pulled away. It looks like they got the Missiles to jump here. First penalty, or second penalty of the ball game, first on the Missiles.
We got a jumper.
Penalties were a little bit of an issue last week for the Missiles up in Alden Hebron.
You never want to help your opponent, and that's the nicest thing you can do to somebody across the line is give them free yards.
So looks like Schofield going to take the snap here once again. Wing to the left. Now they split one out to the right. Snap. Now drops back. Going to be just a quarterback draw. And Living Good sniffs that one out nicely. Short gain of about 2 that time for Schofield.
Once again, dropping back, running some receivers down the field to kind of thin the herd there in the middle, then try to use his speed. Living Good wasn't having it that time.
Now Bastion 22, who is quarterback for him before, see if he's going to take the snap this time, and they'll use Schofield kind of a Swiss Army knife out there to plays multiple positions here, but looks like he's still going to take the snap here at quarterback. Big Bowden Gustafson, 6'4", 196-pound senior in the backfield with him. Wing to the left. 2nd and 7 here, or 2nd and 8 for the Broncos. Rodeball gonna keep, gets by 9, met at the line of scrimmage, gonna fall forward for a gain of 1. Sarber and Adamek in there on the stop for the Missiles.
Got a lot of bodies rolling off that pile. Orangeville engaging in their blocking and pushing downfield, gang tackling by the Missiles.
So 3rd down and 7 for the Broncos. Ball on their own 49-yard line.
Well, when you have your starting quarterback who's listed as your starting quarterback as a receiver or a runner, you got to keep in mind on maybe some trickeration.
So 3rd and 7. Schofield under center. Gonna take the snap, gonna hand it to the big tight end Gustafson. He's met right at the line of scrimmage. Johnson and Sarber in there. Gain of about 2.
Bowden Gustafson, like you say, 6'4", 196. That's a grown man out there, but you do sacrifice a little speed when you give him the ball.
Gain of 1, be 4th down and 6. Gustafson tackled around the ankles in there by Sarber.
That's discretion being the better part of valor there. I think that's the smart play for Sarber.
That kid is fun to watch play football,
He's
though.
outweighed by 55 pounds and given up almost a foot.
Looks like the Broncos are going to go for it just across midfield. Schofield going to drop back to pass. Scramble, he's going to have the first down and more. He's crossed 40, 35, down near the 30. So gain of 19 on 4th and 6. Schofield just made something out of nothing there, Joe.
Yeah, he was dead to rights by Living Good. Just a little jump cut to the right, sprung him, gave him all the free grass he needed.
My favorite mother-in-law checked in. She's listening as well. Believe it or not, Mediacom is down in Milledgeville today, so they're unable to watch. But she is listening on WC's. Shocker. So 1st and 10 for the Broncos. Ball on their Missiles 31-yard line. Under center, now Schofield backs up. Gustafson to the right. Wing to the left. Wide receiver out to the right side as well. Schofield drops back, rolls to his left. Going to try to look back. Nothing there. Still scrolling. Still going, and going to be pushed out of bounds. Maybe a short gain gets up to the 29. They're going to mark him out of bounds. Gain of 2.
2-yard gain, make it 2nd and 8.
Schofield's definitely right now a difference maker for Orangeville. He clearly they're respecting his ability to throw, but making things happen with his feet right now.
2nd down and 8. 7:43 here to go in the opening quarter. Milledgeville 8, Orangeville 0. First possession of the game here for the Broncos. Changing formations here. Offense line goes from left to right. Schofield, shotgun formation once again. Takes a snap, going to try to get it to 10, and he's going to be met in the backfield nicely. Adamek with a tackle for a loss of about 3 yards on the play.
Oscar Bissell, your ball carrier there. Tackle for loss.
It was a very slow developing play there. The timing was off on that play.
I believe you're right.
Could have been the Missiles in the backfield had a little to do with that, but something seemed off in the timing of that.
Defensive penetration when it doesn't run past the ball is devastating.
3rd down and 12. Ball on the Missiles 33-yard line. Split out wide to the left is Comproot. Now Gustafson goes into the slot position. Schofield in a shotgun all by himself. Drops back, looking to pass. Now just going to run the quarterback draw again, and that's all the way open to the right side. He's down inside the 20. Going to have maybe an illegal block downfield. We'll see.
Schofield drops back deep, sends all his receivers very deep. What that does is it turns your defensive backs' heads as they're following the receiver down the field. They don't know what's happening behind them.
It's a block wide receiver, so it was quite a ways downfield, so it's not going to be a complete killer here to the drive, I believe, Joe. So it's marked about the 15, so it's going to bring about.
So that is a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. You do replay the down.
So going to be 3rd and about 4. Ball on the Missiles 25-yard line. Yeah, the best option so far has been spread the Missiles out, send the receivers deep, and let Schofield make something out of nothing there. And he's done a good job of it so far all the way down to the Missiles 25-yard line. Schofield takes a snap, hit the 30, drops back to pass to the left, rolling, still rolling, going to air it out deep, looking for Gustafson. Pass incomplete, covered on the play by Mickelson. Living Good put the pressure on Schofield.
Schofield paid the price. Clean hit right at the release of the ball, no issues there, but that may plant the seed in the young sophomore's mind that can be a consequence of hanging tough.
Yep, Benny Mickelson getting his 2nd start of the year in the place of the injured Evan Shank, the quarterback, defensive back. So 4th down, another 4th down here. See if the Missiles can get a stop here. 4th and 4. Ball on the Missiles 25-yard line. A warm afternoon up here at Orangeville High School. Go under center I formation.
Tight I formation doesn't look like they're jumping out of it either.
Maybe just going to try to draw. Nope. And now they're going to try to sneak him around the right side. And he's got a receiver there, but overshot him. Schofield might have been able to run for that too,
yeah,
Joe.
You got to turn over on downs, and you're throwing into triple coverage in 8-man football. That's tough duty for a receiver. And, again, maybe remembering the hit from the previous play, Schofield decided not to pull it down and make a run.
Yeah, the tight end got behind the defense initially, but by the time the pass got there, he was, like you said, in triple coverage. Schofield might have had a chance around that right end there to go for the first down, but the Missiles get a defensive stop. 1st and 10 for the Missiles on their own 25-yard line. Francis under center, I formation, going to hand it to Tom Smith. Tom Smith right up the middle, going to have a gain of about 5.
Forward progress is going to be just across the 30-yard line.
2nd and 5.
Again, pound the ball, pound the ball, pound the ball, then slip somebody behind them. That seems to be the smart move Milledgeville likes to make.
2nd down and 5. Double tight end set, I formation. Francis is going to hand it to 9. 9 out the left side across the 35, 40, and now it's a foot race. Spencer across the 50, the 35, the 25. Nobody's going to catch him, and Spencer's going to take it 70 yards for a Missile touchdown.
What you got to do, I love high school football so much. What you got to do is watch the line play for Milledgeville. On that play, you had 5'4", 145-pound offensive lineman, Caleb Sarber, pulling down the line and kicking out on the defensive end to spring the running back. Not very often when your running back is 15 pounds heavier than your offensive lineman.
2-point conversion now. Connor Johnson takes a snap, hands it to Tom Smith, and he rumbles in, paved the way once again by the offensive line of the Missiles. Tom Smith adds the 2-point conversion. 5:58 to go here in quarter number 1. Milledgeville 16, Orangeville 0. We'll be back in 60 seconds on your sports leader WCCI.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
The Watering Hole in downtown Augusta is open and says good luck all area teams this season. Stop in for a cold drink Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. to 1 a.m. with happy hour 4 to 6. Then Saturday, 1 p.m. to 1 a.m. You can watch the game there today. If you aren't there, get there. And Sunday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Watering Hole says good luck to all area teams.
Welcome back here to Orangeville High School. Another Missile possession, another Missile touchdown. Was that a 2-play drive that time, Joe?
Yes, sir.
2-play drive, capped by Spencer Nye. Spencer Nye is not a kid that I would personally want to tackle. He's be like tackling about a 160-pound bowling ball.
Yeah, well, I couldn't catch him, so either way, he's safe from the both of us.
I believe years ago, Orangeville had a back built about the same way. That might have been a rotoball or something. I can't remember his name, but low center of gravity.
Yeah,
all muscle.
I think I remember that fire hydrant who played for Orangeville.
You probably coached against him a time or two, especially in the junior tackle. That's 5:58 to go. Looks like Adamick set to tow it up here for the Missiles.
One of the things Milledgeville has going for them is they have so many weapons. You can't concentrate on just one player.
Is it going to stay in line?
Holy
it is inside
cow.
the 10, about the 13-yard line that White's going to receive that kick. Promenchinkle and Sarber going to tackle him about the 11, 12. Going to give him some forward progress, maybe up to the 13. Boy, you couldn't.
That looked like one of my tee shots. That power fade right down the left side of the fairway, stayed in bounds. That was a beautiful kick. And, of course, my wife just did a spit take claiming I can hit a golf ball like that on purpose.
Football is an odd-shaped ball.
Yes.
You never know which way that thing's going to bounce, and it took a Missile bounce there right along the sideline, stayed in bounds. And pin the Broncos back deep here. 5:51 to go here in the opening quarter. Milledgeville 16, Orangeville 0.
That's the kind of roll you get when you're undefeated and up 2 scores to none in a ball game.
Schofield, shotgun formation. Bissell and Gustafson in the backfield with him. Going to be a quarterback keeper right up the middle. Pushes forward for a gain of maybe 2.
There's no quitting this Orangeville team.
Absolutely
they're not hanging their heads. They're still hitting. They're going to find their identity, and I think maybe they have learned a little bit about something about themselves with Schofield running their offense.
2nd down and 8 here for the Broncos. Gustafson in the backfield with Schofield once again. 5:20 and counting here. Nice breeze helps a lot today too, Joe.
Yes,
That's
sir.
A big bonus here today.
Just like we ordered it. Orangeville appears to want to take the air out of the ball a little bit now, running all the way down to the play clock.
Pitch to Gustafson, and not having any of that is Adamick, the defensive end for the Missiles.
Got a flag coming in from the far sideline. Some Milledgeville folks are clapping, holding.
That's what maybe you
Orangeville.
decline there probably, Joe.
I think a loss on the play this close to the end zone. Wave that off. Take the down other than a half the distance penalty, which only gains you another 4 yards.
Yeah, Gustafson lost 4 on the play, so 3rd down and 12 here. My mom had checked in. She's listening. Corey Deal checked in on the Mississippi River. He's got us tuned in to today.
You have a lot more friends than I do. My phone is sitting here just quiet and black.
3rd down and 12. Schofield going to keep it up the middle. Tackled by Living Good. After a gain of about 2, it looks like.
The Broncos are going to have to try to find some way to get the ball to the downfield without it being in Schofield's hand. Right now, Milledgeville's just keying on him, and that's smart coaching, that's smart defense. You need
Broncos dodged a bullet there, I think,
when
Joe.
you return a punt only 20 yards.
That's
there may be some other coaches in this area just shaking their head, wishing they could say a 20-yard return was only 20 yards.
Yep. Orangeville almost looked like they're like, we're not chasing it all the way. We're going to just kind of set up a wall
That's
around
right.
here and make them run through us.
That was good patient.
Point try here. Gonna pitch it to Tom Smith. Point try here. Gonna pitch it to Tom Smith. Tom Smith out the right side, and he's gonna be short. 2-point conversion, no good. Tripped up there by Comprue. Got the stop for the Broncos. 3:14 to go here in the opening quarter. Milledgeville 22, Broncos 0. We'll be back in 60 seconds on your sports leader WCCI.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Sports Corner at 124. Macomb's original local sports bar is the Sports Corner at 124 with a focus on local sports. Catch WIU games and all the area TSSR Game Time live broadcasts at Sports Corner at 124, all while enjoying your favorite cold drink and some of the best food in West Central Illinois. Stop in and say hi at 124 North Randolph Street in Macomb.
To our sponsors tonight, including the Milledgeville State Bank, the Millwheel Tavern, Selman Electric, Gibbs Drywall, Bushman Service, Ruby's Coffee Coach, Ewers Garage, Boss Roofing, FBFM, EVS Hobbies, Duncan Land, Wally's Place, McKenna's Flooring, Kness Heating and Cooling, American Quality Windows, Waisner Farms, Living Good Charter, Pearl City Elevator, and RNH Seed Solutions. Checked in, he's listening. He ran camera for us last week. Adam Drinkall, Scott Nobus checked in from the volleyball tournament in Byron, as well as Chad Selman. I don't know if you know this or not, Joe. Chad Selman is for the last 5 years, been voted top 5 electrician in Milledgeville. I don't know if you've known that tidbit or not.
I've written him some checks, so I believe it. And good news, I finally had somebody check in. I have a prescription ready at CVS.
As Adamic's kick goes through, gets past number 10 there, Bissell. He's going to pick it up about the 15-yard line, gets across the 20 near the 23-yard line. Promen Schinkel and Mickelson on the stop, as well as Connor Johnson down there.
Like you said earlier, the football isn't round and it bounces funny. And when the ball's down that far down the field, once it passes 10 yards, it's anybody's ball. So Milledgeville in hot pursuit. Orangeville had to get to the ball to make sure that they didn't give up one of the longest onside kicks in history.
So 1st and 10 for the Broncos here. Lily Biller running our camera on our YouTube stream. Brooks Wilkinson is always engineering things in the background. Schofield going to drop back, and he's going to get out of the tackle of Adamic. Boy, the ends just attacking from the pinning him in there, Joe. But finally Sarber gets him down there, but Adamic was off the ball in a hurry on that play.
Schofield officially has a target on his back. That's a loss of 4 on that play. 2nd and 14. So now, what are you going to do?
Yes. As Jaden Promen-Schinkel in defensively for the Missiles. Trying to think who he's replacing out there. One of the linebackers. Micah Tom Smith maybe. Nope, he's out there. Trying to see who
Caleb
is.
Sarber still in.
He is in for, looks like Benny Mickelson.
Mickelson, yeah.
Yep, one of the defensive backs. So Jaden Promen-Schinkel in for Mickelson. Schofield going to drop back to pass. Now he's going to run. He gets by Sarber. Not quite. Sarber does get him to the ground there. Promen-Schinkel on the stop as well, gaining about 10 yards or so.
That's a great play by Schofield. The problem is they're fighting long chains there, so a gain of 10, and you're still 3rd and 6.
1:50 to go here in the opening quarter. Milledgeville 22. Orangeville 0. Jacob Chapman checked in as well, one of our loyal listeners. Michael Leach says, you and Joe are sounding great.
Well, thanks, Michael.
That's what I said when my one neighbor can't broadcast with me, I go to another one, Joe. It's Kurt Folk has volleyball duty here today, so I didn't have I knew who to ask when that came up. As next is 10 in there, Bissell. Tackled by Sidmore and Livingood. Going to bring up 4th and about 3.
So this is a tough decision for Orangeville. You're already down 22. You're pretty deep in your own territory. Are you willing to give the Milledgeville offense another shot at this, or do you, with a short field, or do you kick it away and play some long game defense?
Yeah, geez, yes, that's would be a tough decision. Do you try to go for it, and if you don't get it, you give them to the 30, or you punt it and have them maybe return it?
Looks like
they're going to go for it.
Now we're going to go for it.
4th and 3, ball on their own 30-yard line. Schofield in the backfield, Gustafson to his right. Shotgun formation. Going to have a timeout taken.
We're going to talk about this a little longer here.
Timeout. We'll just keep it right here since we're near the end of a quarter break here. 34.9 seconds. Scoreboard reads Marengo 22, NWI 0, but it is Milledgeville 22, Orangeville 0.
I'm trying to think of something clever for NWI to stand for, and I think I should just keep all of my ideas to myself. Who else is checking in with you over there,
my
Kyle?
wife has checked in, and she's got us on the TV. Evidently, Mediacom. Maybe my message got through.
Yeah, there you go.
So my wife and kids, Landry Kinsley, watching back at home.
I got another check-in here. Apparently, there's some exciting opportunities in solar power in Illinois. I should make a phone call and save some money.
So, 34 seconds. Been all Milledgeville here so far in this one. Saturday game, and the field's in good shape. It's starting to get dry here, but, I always appreciate good field work. The field looks good, pretty good, straight, crisp lines. Numbers on the field, every yard line on the field. That's a lot of work. My only nitpick, and I don't like to nitpick other people's work, is the lowercase o, it looks like on the midfield.
You just can't let that go, Kyle. We've been talking about that all day. It's just not big enough for Kyle.
Yep, it is. The O could be a little bit bigger, but everything else, like I said, top notch here by Orangeville. Field looks great. Hospitality's great.
like everybody else in our area, Orangeville probably would appreciate a little rain.
Yes. 4th and 3, Schofield back, shotgun formation. Wing to the left, split out to the right. Schofield going to take the snap. Now he's going to try to follow his big tight end around the corner. He's got a block. He's going to be close. Depends on the spot.
Out of bounds at the 30.
Boy, he's right at the stick.
33-yard line.
We may have time for a measurement. Yep, Roy Snyder putting both hands up in the air. He's calling the chains across the field. This is an exciting time for chain gang folks. They don't get to star much.
Their time to shine here,
That's
boys.
right.
Another underappreciated
And
job.
we got some hustle. Look at this.
How much longer is the chain gang going to be a thing in the NFL? And now have you seen they've kind of done digital
Yeah,
or
we're
the
going to go laser beams across the field. And then you
footballs
can
with
put 'em
laser
on,
beams?
You can put them on stun and catch people off sides.
So are we going to get
I
the
think
home
he's-
field
I
chain
think he's
here
got it.
measurement?
I think he's
He
got it.
does.
Yep.
First down, Broncos.
Yeah. So Schofield, again, reading the defense. Got himself a big partner there in the backfield, give him a little safety and security there. And when it's short yardage to gain, advantage Schofield. But when he's, like the play before, when he's facing long yardage, then your defense is at the advantage. We got a delay for. We're gonna have a chat. Got a clock issue. Gonna put 7 seconds back on the clock.
28 seconds here in this first quarter yet. Been a long first quarter. It's been a theme of missile football games this year.
Well, when you score a lot, you stop a lot.
22-0, and Schofield gets out of the tackle. Living Good gets almost out of the tackle of Tom Smith, but he does get him down. Sarber joined in. Gain of about 4 there for Schofield.
Schofield's 5'10", 161 pounds. If you ask Carter Livingood right now, he'd tell you he's about 6'5" and 245.
It's going to be the first quarter break because Schofield's going to need one, I believe, Joe. He's on pace for 44 carries in this ball game if he keeps 11 carries in that opening quarter.
He is he's as tough as a mother-in-law's love, they say.
So after one, Milledgeville 22, Orangeville 0. We'll be back in 60 seconds on your sports leader, WCCI.
Do you need ice for your upcoming event? Look no further. Midwest Ice has you covered. Midwest Ice is Central Illinois' newest ice delivery service. We deliver ice directly to your event. Call Blaine Wrench at 309-351-8192 for a quote today.
I see acute injuries on the field. I see ankle sprains. I see ACL knee injuries, as well as in the clinic. It's very rewarding to see them from on the field injury to rehab to transition back to their event.
Welcome back here to Orangeville High School here. After one quarter of play, Milledgeville 22, Orangeville 0.
I have some really exciting news, Kyle.
Uh-oh, breaking news here.
Breaking news here at Orangeville. Somebody checked in with me. Tim Livingood, Carter Livingood's grandpa, checked in. So thank you, Tim, my new best friend.
Travis Hines checked in as well. He said, ask Chad Selman about his used car lot up in Stover Edition. So 2nd and 5 here for the Broncos as we start quarter number 2 here in sunny Orangeville here today. Say sunny in 75, but I believe it's warmer than 75 out there today.
We're beating that right now.
Schofield, shotgun formation, gonna keep it once again. Not sure if that was the plan, but he was under attack, so he tries to get back to the line of scrimmage. Sidmore, Nye, Sarber in there.
Adamick with Ademick with a real nice swim move, getting off the ball quick, disrupting that play in the backfield.
Loss of 1, 3rd and 6.
So every once in a while, if you're watching on YouTube or you're watching any football game, I challenge you and invite you every once in a while, every third play or so, don't watch the ball. Watch the line and see what's going on and see how timing and things like that can get disrupted by good defensive play or an offensive line that can stymie that defensive line.
Schofield takes the shotgun snap, goes off the helmet of Gustafson. Adamick picks it up. He's rumbling down inside the 20-yard line. Kind of look what I found here,
There's
Joe.
a lineman's dream right there. Again, was getting good penetration and stumbled a little bit on the play. And as he bent over from the stumble, the ball bounced right into his hands. Perfect scenario.
Dalton Adamick, Spencer Nines putting in a strong running for our Selman Electric player of the game, but Adamick, now he's been a force on the defensive line and a fumble recovery. He's making a push forward here as well.
He is a disruptor.
1st and 10 for the Missiles, ball on the Bronco 20-yard line. Francis under center, I formation behind him. Play action, and he's got a couple receivers open, goes to Spencer Nine, he reels it in, a 20-yard touchdown, Francis 2-9.
That's a really good pass and a really good catch, especially if you consider the direction that Nye was going. When he turned back to look for that ball, he was looking directly into the sun, which just adds another level of complexity to that play. Good pass, good catch.
So Francis has three completions, Joe. All for touchdowns.
Oh, well, that's what
One
you call
incompletion.
offensive efficiency.
3 for 4, 3 touchdowns, 54 yards. Gonna Spencer Knight, like a bowling ball, bouncing inside, outside, and runs it outside for the 2-point conversion. Is good. 10:55 here to go in this opening half. Milledgeville 30, Orangeville 0. We'll be back in 60 seconds on your sports leader, WCCI.
Well, I've always had an interest in the medical field, and then growing up, I actually went through physical therapy myself for an injury, and that got me back to playing my sports and the activities that I loved. So seeing that firsthand, I got to see how much physical therapy could really benefit others.
Barkley Bills Company, a hat brand built on two staples, comfort and style, specializing in snapback trucker style caps. Check out the selection or consider customs to build your business at barkleybillsco.com. Don't let the hat rack fool you. There's always room for one more barkleybillsco.com hat. Wishing good luck to all athletes this season.
Well, welcome back here once again at Orangeville High School. Another missile possession, another missile touchdown. This time Francis finding Spencer Nye, who then rumbles in 3 yards for the 2-point conversion. The offense just continues to click here early on in the season for the Missiles, Joe.
Yeah, defensively, they're opportunistic, and offensively, they're quick strike. Still looking at Orangeville, not a single helmet hanging low. It would be good tonic for them to get in the end zone before halftime.
As Adamick with the kick down near the 20-yard line. Sarber on the special teams. That's another kid that's just all over the field. Johnny down there as well.
16-yard return on the kick.
First and 10.
So far, the only bad thing I've seen happen for the Missiles is somebody lost their mouthpiece on that play.
And the opening pass was dropped.
Oh, well, there you go. You're a real Eeyore over there, aren't you, Kyle? Real doom and gloom. We dropped a pass.
Yep, we can zoom in. We always go with Coach Roble, what he's got on today. Still sporting his the white golf shoes, as his son likes to call them. But white Nikes over there. Went black here. Coach Roble as Schofield dragging some missile defenders up across the 35-yard line. Good, strong run there.
That should inspire some fire in Orangeville players. That's a gain of 6 pretty much by himself.
Yes.
He was carrying folks.
Unofficially, it's already 13 carries for a very tough 52 yards at Schofield.
Yes, that was a 7-yard carry with 7 yards after contact.
Gun formation once again for Schofield. 10-10 to go here in quarter number 2. Milledgeville 30, Orangeville 0. Missiles will be back in action next Friday. Homecoming at Milledgeville next Friday versus Rockford Christian Life.
Once again, Orangeville trying to take the air out of the ball, waiting for the back judge to indicate 5 seconds left before they snap the ball.
Bissell on the sweep there. Sarber Johnson on the stop. Gain of 1.
Caleb Sarber may be the biggest 5'4" kid I've ever seen. He's all bulldog out there. He has no clue that he's given up 50, 60 pounds.
Yeah, my brother Mike checked in and said he's liking the. I'm a big uniform guy too. I always appreciate multiple uniforms. Orangeville's always leading the area, and you never know what they're going to come out with. He likes the all-black look here.
The very dapper Broncos.
They have a gray. They have the highlighter yellow.
Yes,
which
sir.
Is maybe not TV friendly, but something to be seen. Orangeville always has many uniform options here. 3rd and 4 for the Broncos. 7 is in there to take the snap. Comproot pitches it to Schofield. Pass up and nearly intercepted. Promenschinkel and Johnson were both there. Just kind of threw one up there to the big tight end, Joe, hoping he could come down with it.
That was the trickeration I was alluding to earlier. When you have a capable quarterback lining up as a running back or receiver, that's always an option. Good defensive positioning by the defensive back on that play.
Comproot took the snap, pitched it back to Schofield, who then aired it out to the tight end there, but pass comes short, and they are going to go to punt formation this time, Joe.
Briggs back to punt for the Broncos.
Briggs set to punt. Micah Tom Smith back, standing about his own 30-yard line. Here's a snap. Good snap. Kick, high kick. Going to go towards the sideline, about the 35. Tom Smith is going to pick it up. Makes one man miss. Makes another man miss. And another. That's 3. He's got 5 more to make miss. Makes another miss. And he might take it. Tom Smith across the 50. 40, and he's going to take it. 70 yards for a missile. Touchdown. This boy, the light laundry on the field, though, Joe, about the 35-yard line. A block that probably didn't have to be made there.
That's unfortunate. You know, the ball hit the ground, and Tom Smith looked at it. Then he bounced, and he looked at it. And then it bounced again, and he said, all right, I'll pick it up. That reminds me of a guy who used to drive us crazy in a Milledgeville uniform by the name of Jared Nye. He'd pick that sucker up in a whole huddle of the defense, and he didn't care. He'd pick it up and run. Same thing happened there. A personal foul, so I'm guessing
Foul on Milledgeville on the return.
Boy, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Go back and watch the replay. I was watching down the field. I thought he was well, like it was the flag sitting on the 35-yard line, the sideline of the missiles. Like I said, there was nothing that needed to be made there. He was out in the open, but
yeah, we got probably a defenseless player there who got a little cleanup block, and like you said, it was not needed. So we got a conference on the field. This is a question about, I'm guessing, spot of enforcement, because they did call a personal foul.
so yeah, well,
So we got a free timeout. Probably should let some water get out on the field. Milledgeville, of course, is saying just put it down and let us play at this point. We have confirmed it's a personal foul. They're going to make it a spot foul because there was a touchdown scored.
going to come over each.
Yeah, see, what should happen is, since it was scored and it was a live ball penalty,
Both coaches got an explanation. I'm not sure if Coach Robles loving his explanation over there.
yeah, I'm going to wait to see how they decide to enforce. Okay, this isn't a good look for the officials, and I feel bad for them, but they're doing the right thing. They're putting their heads together. They're having a discussion to make sure that this is enforced correctly, and quite frankly, to give an explanation to a coach, which they may not like, but it is a unified definition.
Yes, sometimes you see some, they just rush it and move on.
Exactly.
They have taken their time, huddled, told each coach.
On the 35-yard
So it's going to be.
So Roy Snyder is a state final official. He's as good as it gets out there. So we did have a 15-yard assessment from the spot of the foul.
So 1st and 10 for the Missiles. Ball right at midfield. Low snap, but Francis gets it. Now hands it to Johnny. Johnson off the left side. Gain 5.
Johnson elected to jump on that play.
Sure. What?
We might have a little physics lesson with Mr. Johnson after this game, but when you leave the ground, you lose all propulsion, which means you're at you're an easy soft target as soon as you take to the air, unless you're Barry Sanders jumping from the 5 into the end zone.
2nd down and 5 for the Missiles. Ball on the Bronco 45-yard line. 8 minutes to go here in quarter number 2. Francis under center. Going to hand it to Nye. Nye up the middle. Going to have a 1st down, it looks like. Gain of 5 more.
5 more yards. Be a 1st down, Milledgeville.
Like I said, great officiating crew here today. Is my advice, if you are unhappy or do not like the officials, come join them.
I got a website for you to check out.
They are in much need
yes,
of
sir.
any official, especially football, all sports.
We are in danger of not being able to play football probably in the next 5 years.
Yes, that's what I've heard. It's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yes, sir, it will.
So 1st and 10 for the Missiles. Ball on the Bronco 40-yard line. Francis drops back to pass, has a couple options open, puts a little too much air under that one for Living Good as he's hopping back there. He wants that one back, does Francis. Just let him a little bit too far.
Not even Living Good could have caught up to that one, and that's saying something. He's got some speed to burn. Going back to officiating, I took my turn, and it was much like what you said to earlier about if you don't like it. My wife and I were attending a game, and I had some salty words for some things that were going on in the field with officials, and my wife turned to me and said, "Why don't you do better?" And, yeah, that shut me up. The very next day I went on to IHSA.org and signed up to become an official. She was right.
2nd and 10. Francis under center, going to hand it to Micah Tom Smith. He's to the 35, up near the 30. Still not down. Finally get him down after a gain of 8 there for Micah Tom Smith, his 2nd carry of the ball game.
Tom Smith was chomping at the bit to get that ball after his touchdown got called back.
So it might be the first 3rd down of the day for the Missiles here. 3rd and 2.
Gee, I feel bad for him.
3rd and 2. Ball on the Bronco 32-yard line.
Get all the way to 7-minute point in the 2nd quarter before you have a 3rd down.
That's 3rd and 2.
Legendary Milledgeville High School softball player, now coach, Morgan Adolph, checking in today. Thanks, Mo.
She's got my number, too. She just must have felt bad for you, Joe.
Clearly.
As Francis going to pitch it to Living Good. I believe that'll be a pass in the book.
Living Good run down to the 22-yard line. That'll be enough for a Milledgeville Missiles
Gains
1st
of
down.
10 there. Francis to Living Good.
I'm now 2 for 2 with the fly swatter.
So 1st and 10 for the Missiles. Ball on the Bronco 22-yard line.
So this is the antithesis of the typical long striking defense for the Missiles. Now they're taking 5, 6, 7 yards at a play. This can be a demoralizing type of offensive drive.
Francis drops back to pass, has Johnson. Johnson in the flat, gonna run over one guy and bulldozes it way in for the touchdown. Francis to Johnson for 22 yards.
We need to check on that young man from Orangeville.
Let's hope he's okay.
2 players dropped their head. He needs some attention, and he's about to get some. He's tough. He has no interest whatsoever in coming out of this game, and the adults in the room are going to help him make a much better decision.
Yep.
Good to see him coming off under his own steam, but he does not look real sure or confident on his feet. Somebody needs to grab his helmet. Clean play, absolutely clean play. 2 players breaking down, and it just so happens they look like 2 mountain goats on the side of a hill. Blocking horns there, but
yes, you don't like to see the helmet to helmet. They both lowered it at the same time.
Perfectly clean. There's nothing wrong with that play other than this is football, and sometimes you put yourselves in danger.
Yep, the best thing about that play is they both walk away from it. So
amen.
Francis, shotgun formation, 3 to the right, 1 to the left here. Now gets instruction from Coach Grenoble on the sideline. 5:58 here to go in this first half. Francis drops back and gets it up. Knee down. Knee down, 2-point conversion, no good. 5:58 to go here in this first half. Milledgeville 36, Orangeville 0. We'll be back in 60 seconds on your Sports Leader WCCI.
Ryden Farm Supply, located in the heart of Walnut Grove and in business since 1974. Ryden Farm Supply can meet all your needs for LP seed, fertilizer, and farm chemicals. Their LP service is unmatched in this area. Customer service is one of their specialties. Give them a call today at 309-772-3121.
At Country Financial, we enjoy serving the community in which we live, big or small.
I love living in the Blandensville area. It's where I grew up, went to school, and decided to raise my family. I never had a desire to live or work anywhere other than in a small town. I feel lucky to help my longtime friends and neighbors with their insurance needs. It's like working with family every day.
I'm Brett Powell, your local Country Financial representative, whose door is always open to work with you.
Welcome back once again here to Orangeville High School. More points on the scoreboard here for the Missiles as they now lead 36 to nothing. 5:58 here to go in quarter number 2. That was Francis to Johnson for the touchdown. What was that last one? Was that about 14 yards? I forget where that ball was at. Looks like
14 works. Oh, the kick rolls all the way down to the 8-yard line before it's picked up by the Orangeville Broncos.
Oh, ball is loose. Ball is loose. We're going to have a scoop and score for Spencer Nye. Tom Smith and Sarber jarred that ball loose, Joe. I was compiling stats as you said the kickoff was landed about the 8-yard line. There was a collision about a 10, and the ball went bouncing.
And the Orangeville ball carrier kind of went into an alligator roll, so when contact was made, no integral part of his body was touching the ground to kill the play as he spun over on his way to the ground and it popped out.
His first 2-point conversion now try for Francis and the Missiles. Shotgun formation, got 4 out to the right. Now he's going to look back to the left. They tried to sneak Adamick out to the left, and he still throws it to him, but double coverage. Tried to fool him there, Joe, and it did not work, but he gave his lineman a shot anyway.
Yeah, that's right. And your freshman quarterback is going to have a little discussion, I think, here in the very near future with Spencer Nye, as Spencer was standing all by himself in the end zone, had called out for a pizza delivery and hoping some friends would come over because he was wide open. But, hey, he missed him. It's all right.
So 2-point conversion, no good. We'll just keep it right here on your Area Sports Leader WCCI, 42 to nothing. 5:49 here to go in this opening quarter of play, or opening half of play. As the Missiles just answer back on a scoop and score there, Spencer Nye.
So if we can maintain this lead, Missiles will open the second half. Given the 40-point differential, we will have a running clock in the second half if nothing changes on the Orangeville side of the scoreboard.
So Johnson, 2 catches for 33 yards, 2 touchdowns. That was a 22-yard. I did have that down. 22-yard Francis to Johnson touchdown.
Well, we don't
4 passing touchdowns on the day for for Francis.
Evan Shank may be starting to feel better and better with every touchdown pass that's getting thrown.
He's spread the ball, 2 to Johnson, 1 to Livingood, 1 to Nye.
Again, that's the difference between the number of weapons. You can't concentrate on one player, and they keep you guessing.
Adamick's done a good job here on the kickoffs here for the Missiles. Gotten some friendly rolls. Toes it up again. 40 yards. Going to be down about the 11-yard line where Comprud receives it. Tackled there by Nye and Tom Smith up near the 24. Gain of 13 yards on the return.
You can hear that hit all the way up here in the penthouse of the Crow's Nest. And that is an absolute weapon, especially considering what typically happens in small school football. You got a kicker who can put it down inside the 10 before it's recovered. That's a great weapon. Saw that last night. Keep an eye on the Galena Pirates. They have a kicker who I'm thinking is good to about 40 yards.
Whew. That is a weapon. 1st and 10 for the Broncos. Schofield, shotgun formation once again. Ball on their own 24-yard line. 5:42 to go here in this opening half of play. Schofield's going to keep it and roll to his right. He's going to try to air it out. And reading that perfectly was Johnson. He was looking for the tight end, Blake Comprud down there, but well covered by the missiles there, Joe.
And that was a really good quarterback contained rush. You had Tom Smith coming in from his right as he's been being chased down by number 54, Adamek. So didn't over-pursue, maintained outside discipline, so Schofield couldn't do one of his patented tuck and runs for a long gain.
2nd down and 10. 5:35 to go here in this opening half of play. Split out one to the left. Gustafson to the left of Schofield as well. We await the snap. And takes the snap. Now going to be a quarterback draw. And can't get out of the tackle of Nye, but falls forward for gain of about 4.
So the linemen are pinning their ears back to get pressure to force the run, and it looks like now Connor Nye is doing a little spy job on the quarterback, hanging out in that second level of defense where the linebackers like to hang out, making sure that Schofield doesn't have the opportunity to take off unattended.
So 3rd down and 6 here for the Broncos. Ball on their own 28-yard line. Running clock will be in effect, but not till the second half. Unless the coaches choose otherwise. The officials can usually be talked into that. So 4:43 to go. Schofield shotgun formation. He drops back to pass. Going to be pressured by Adamek and Living Good. Rolling out to his right. And leaking out was Comprud and going to be tackled there by Johnson. And so nice play there, Schofield to Comprud.
Really good play by Schofield. He stayed behind the line of scrimmage going towards the sideline and forced the defender to make a decision. Do I run at the quarterback or do I stay with my pass receiver responsibility? So the defender passed the receiver onto his defensive backs in the decision to rush the quarterback. So Schofield just lobbed it over his head downfield for the first down.
See a celebrity sighting on the sideline of the Broncos here. Kyle Kampmeyer in his Cubby blue on the Orangeville sideline running the NUIC football board. He puts in a lot of work and time there that's much appreciated by broadcasters and myself, I know. As Schofield's going to tuck and run. He's got some room before he's met with Nye. Gain of 6, maybe 7.
Caleb Sarber once again putting his nose in on the tackle.
Was that Sarber? I seen the 6.
No, Nye cleaned him up.
Okay,
Sarber's the one who made him think about stopping, and then Nye convinced him to stop.
15 carry, 62 yards for Schofield.
That's tough duty.
3:20 and counting here in this first half. Milledgeville 42, Orangeville 0. Let's see. Adamek gets in there as well as Living Good puts a lick on the quarterback. He airs it out. Pass incomplete. This boy Living Good put a shot on Schofield. That made my ribs hurt up here.
I have no words for how I feel about Schofield right now. This kid's tougher than a $2 steak. I'm telling you that right now. And yeah, we're playing football, folks. He laid the wood to him, and he's going to come right back and do it again.
3:03 here to go in quarter number 2. 3rd down and about 5 here for the Broncos. Schofield shotgun formation, wing to the right, split out to the left. Now Gustafson going to go to the slot there to the left as well. Schofield in the backfield all by himself, and the tight end got a little bit of an early jump there.
You know, in a 42-0 ball game in the second quarter, you sometimes can let a few things go. But when Gustafson, who is 6'4" and weighs just under 200 pounds, gets a Canadian rules football head start on a play, you got to throw that flag.
The only way he would have stuck out worse if they were in the highlighter yellow uniforms.
And he'd been the only one, like the libero in volleyball.
So, third down and a long 9 here for the Broncos. Schofield directing traffic, now ready to take the snap. Steps back, gets pressured by Livingood, and going to be, nearly sacked, but he does get it away, avoiding the sack of Livingood. Pass falls incomplete.
There was a receiver in the area, so nothing wrong with the legality of that play. And I got to tell you, I love it. After the play, Livingood kind of taps him on the shoulder like, man, that was a really heads-up play there. Congratulations. So some really awesome sportsmanship going on, too.
Schofield is going to have nightmares of 54 and 48. As soon as he takes the snap, he is under pressure. Briggs back to punt. Micah Tom Smith standing near his own 25-yard line. As Adamek nearly gets it, but we're going to have roughing the kicker or running into the kicker.
That's going to be in here. This is going to be running into. That's a 5-yard penalty.
Running into the kicker.
So not an automatic first down, just a running into. An unfortunate penalty for the Missiles because it's kind of a miracle that punt didn't get blocked.
I don't know how it didn't.
I'm not sure how it didn't, to be honest.
I think that's what Dalton's wondering himself. He's looking at his hands of how did that ball.
Yeah, he had one more cheeseburger at lunch this week. He'd have weighed a third of a pound, and that would have got the job done, I think.
He's running in, like I said, he didn't get a good hard shot. He just went for the dive and
got tangled and way back in the day, when I was a punter, you are really vulnerable when you got 1 foot on the ground and 1 foot up in the air. We got to protect our punters. So now we got a timeout on the field. Timeout Orangeville, Kyle.
Timeout. With that, we'll take one with them. 2:52 to go here in this first half. Milledgeville 42, Orangeville 0. We'll be back in 60 seconds on your sports leader, WCCI.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
Top-notch local computer sales and repair services. Call Adams Experts in Quincy at 217-214-3423 for fast, friendly, and affordable assistance. We make technology work. That's Adams Experts, your go-to when your computer goes down.
Welcome back here to Orangeville. And it's looking like after the timeout, they're going to decide to go for it here, Joe.
Kyle, the public address announcer just announced that there's apple cider donuts downstairs, so I'm afraid I have to go.
So you're done?
Yep. You have a good day.
Schofield drops back to pass on 4th and 6. Rolling. Pass falls incomplete. Tom Smith batted it down. And once again, it sounds like a broken record. Pressured by Adamek, pressured by Livingood. And the Broncos turn it over on downs. 1st and 10 for the Missiles. They have the ball on the Bronco 47-yard line.
That's one of those tough plays as a coach defensively. That ball hung up in the air a little bit, and there was a possibility it could have gotten intercepted, and you're yelling at your player, no, don't catch it, because you'd be giving up some yards because it's 4th down.
Although with Tom Smith, I probably like the chances of him maybe returning that, but yeah. Now 2:46 to go. Francis as a little trickeration. Ball is loose. Francis going to fall on it. I tried a little reverse there. Might want to file that one in the back pocket.
Yeah, might have outsmarted yourself on that one, but that's all right. When you got a 42-point lead with 2.5 minutes to go in the second quarter, maybe you'll work on some stuff.
Who are you giving that carry officially to there?
Whoever called the play.
So, yeah, it's true.
Whoever's calling the play took a 4-yard loss on that play.
Francis ended up scooping it back up. He gets credited with a 4-yard loss. 2nd and 14. Ball on their own 48-yard line. Now Francis under center, I formation. Going to hand it to Promenschinkel. Fights forward for a gain of about 3.
Just shy of the original line of scrimmage. Brings up 3rd and 9. Getting some clean uniforms out there on the field. Sophomore Jaden Promenschinkel.
So 3rd and long here for the Missiles. Something we haven't seen too often in this.
The 2nd, 3rd down of the day, I think that is. All right.
Hey, something to work on here. 1:35 and counting here in this first half. Milledgeville 42, Orangeville 0. Johnson to the left, 3 wide receivers to the right. That's Livingood, Nye, and Mike and Tom Smith. Francis out of the shotgun set. Good snap by Sidmore. Francis drops back, going to air it out deep, and he's got Livingood wide open, and it's caught, and he's going to rumble in 20 yards for the touchdown. It's 48 through the air. Man, he throws a nice ball, Joe.
Took a little. The last time Livingood was open like that, put a little too much air under it. This one brought it down, threw it on a line. Again, there aren't many guys who have the ability to outrun a quarterback's arm, but Livingood is one of them.
I know there's some 8-man teams around the area saying you just graduated Connor Nye, and now you're going to step in with Francis as a freshman. That doesn't seem fair.
And, oh, by the way, he's your 2nd quarterback.
Yes. Boy, that was a thing of beauty. He threw one of those at Alden Hebron last week. As now going to be Johnson. Gets the carry, runs into Sarber, and he gets by the sideline. Sarber kind of sets a pick over there.
Sarber dang near made the tackle.
I think he probably wanted to be honest with you.
He got spun a little bit, and by golly, he was just in the way.
1:13 to go here in this first half. Milledgeville 50, Orangeville 0. We'll be back in 60 seconds on your sports leader, WCCI.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Sports Corner at 124. Macomb's original local sports bar is the Sports Corner at 124 with a focus on local sports. Catch WIU games and all the area TSSR Game Time live broadcasts at Sports Corner at 124, all while enjoying your favorite cold drink and some of the best food in West Central Illinois. Stop in and say hi at 124 North Randolph Street in Macomb.
Welcome back here to Orangeville High School. Throwing stuff around here. Didn't mean to.
This is why we can't have nice things, Kyle.
1:13 to go as 33. Blake Wooden toes that one up, and that's inside the 15 where it's picked up by Bissell, I believe. Tackled by Parker Saunders and Jaden Promenschinkel. Tom Smith in there as well.
Something to keep an eye on. 87 Gustafson came off the sideline after that last score by the Missiles. Threw down one of his gloves in disgust. He's working his hand a little bit. Looks like he may have taking a stinger on his hand. So something to keep an eye on.
First and 10, 1:08 to go here. Another half of football that's taken over an hour. Lee Willing is still most of the starters. Jaden is in there for Mickelson, but betting this is the last series for the starters here, Joe.
Yes, sir. You know what? I am not a fan of running up the score at all, but the first half is for the starters. And so you play football, and then second half is when you get
Schofield to Gustafson, pass complete. Johnson gets him down, gain of about 2.
Okay, so he did a little rope-a-dope on me. His hands are just fine.
Maybe he was trying to sell that there, but Johnson unfooled.
Talking about that score, Gary Harchie, venerable coach for the Missiles for years, his perfect game was 40-0 at half and then a 25-minute second half. You got that running clock. You don't score. You get some younger kids in. Keep the clock going, 2 12-minute quarters and one minute timeout between. That's the perfect football game.
Second down and 8 here for the Broncos. Schofield once again drops back to pass. 17 seconds to go. Going to air it out deep. And nearly intercepting with Spencer Nine. He's not happy with himself.
That tells you everything you need to know about Spencer Nine in a 50-0 ball game. He's angry at himself after laying out for an interception and having it go off his fingertips. By golly, he wanted to make one more play.
Absolutely. 12 seconds remaining here in this first half. 3rd and 8 for the Broncos. They'll be back in action. They travel to River Ridge next week. There's 3 wide receivers to the right for Schofield and the Broncos here. Could be the final snap of the half, depending. And Schofield takes it. Flushed out of the pocket by Adamick. Rolling right. Going to air it out, and this one's picked off by Connor Johnson. Johnson's got it. Across the 50-yard line. Gustafson gets a hold of it. Now he's going to toss it to Promenschinkel, and that's going to do it here for this first half. As Bissell there to tackle him as well. He knew, I think, the half was running out, so tried to make something here as the horn sounded.
Okay.
You're shaking your head up here.
Carrying that ball like a loaf of bread there, and then he took a shot.
As that's going to do it here for your first half. Milledgeville puts a 50-burger up here in the first half. They lead the Broncos here 50-0. Go over the stats here unofficially. First for the Broncos, mostly Schofield doing the bulk of the work. 15 carries, 62 yards. Bissell, 3 carries for 0 yards. Gustafson, 2 carries for -3. Through the air, Schofield was 2 for 10 for 16 yards and an interception. Through the air, Comprud 1 catch for 14. Gustafson 1 catch for 2. They had 2 turnovers and 3 penalties for 15 yards. Now for the Missiles, kind of spread it around many options here. Not a lot of carries for any of them. Tom Smith, 2 carries, 13 yards. Spencer Nye, 4 carries, 117 yards, including a touchdown. Johnson, 1 carry for 5 yards. Promenschinkel, 1 carry for 3. Through the air, the freshman, Francis, 6 for 8. 134 yards, 5 touchdowns. Not a bad first half. 6 completions, 5 touchdowns. And receiving, Johnny Johnson, 2 receptions, 2 touchdowns for 33 yards. Living Good, 3 receptions, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tom Smith, 1 reception for 20 yards and a touchdown. Missiles had, 3 penalties in that first half, 25 yards, and no turnover. So about clean a half as football as you can play there, Joe.
Yes, sir. This is more a statement of the things that North Point does well than it is a statement of things. They are playing hard. They are playing tough. They haven't put on this game where a lot of teams would have. So there's no attitude problem or anything with these Orangeville kids. They're hanging tough. Milledgeville is just
a dominant first half here, and no complete turnaround. Scores the line. We're up 30-9, I believe, last check. And what was the last check on the Badger score there?
42-10 last I saw.
It's still it. I just pulled that up.
All
so
right.
30-9 Illinois. So good news there. As,
if you can't tell, we're football junkies, folks.
Yes, if there's football on or a score to be had, we're going to try to find it.
Amen, brother.
Yep, and an impressive half here for the Missiles. Looks like might take a little extended half here as well. So it's 50-0 here at the half. That's going to wrap up our first half coverage. We'll be back with second half action after this halftime break. Area Sports Leader WCCI. I'm Kyle Leach, joined in the booth up here by Joe Letty. As another very entertaining and spread the ball all over. Kids making plays all over the field for the Missiles in that first half.
Welcome back to the Milledgeville Embarrassment of Riches show. Yeah, spread it around, pick your poison. You concentrate on one guy. There's 4 guys to step up to take the pressure off. These are the times that maybe make up a little bit for the hard times that Coach Roble had early on in his career. You don't want to say he's on cruise control because they still have a schedule to play. They have some really good teams out there staring down the barrel. But these are the times where you just can kind of maybe take a nice deep breath and smile your way through the second half.
Illinois improves to 3-0 for the first time in many years. They've gotten to 3-0. So.
They escaped that trap game we were talking about, coming off a big win over Kansas. Went in against Central Michigan.
Yep, 30-9. As Alabama was all over Wisconsin. It was that final 42-10, I do believe. And
That is correct.
South Carolina and LSU. That's a good game. I know College Game Day were there. That's what I was tuned into this morning after watching some news highlights. Got back, like I said, late last night from Bureau Valley. Got to see Coach Kappas down there. And always my go-to News Channel 8 for their sports coverage. They always do a 45-minute show nightly. So recap that this morning.
And talking about how we're big fans of NUIC, not just football, but all sports. We talked about the young man Dunker from Lena Winslow's starting offensive lineman at the University of Iowa. He was named honorable mention all Big Ten preseason this year. Young lady Timpy from Stockton is now playing basketball at Central Michigan. So a lot of kids that you're seeing here on Friday nights and Saturday afternoons are taking a step to the next level.
Yeah, it's always exciting to see. Is about ready to start second half action. We'll put it up to vote again. Send me your Joe. Let Brooks know on the computer for your player of the game. Selman Electric player of the game. Well, it could be or Dalton Adamek jumps out to me. Spencer and I, we try to spread it around of who has not gotten it.
Sure, yeah.
Francis got it week 1, or Tom Smith week 1, Francis week 2, but yeah.
You're scoring 50 points, so you're thinking about somebody in offense, but you're also pitching a shutout, so you want to consider somebody's defensive contributions as well.
So also Sarber's name in the ring there too. Nye, Adamek, Sarber, Johnson. Let us know. We'll get our coach's opinion as well. As a kick by Wooden is going to be down inside the 20, about the 16-yard line.
That not round football again, bouncing and jumping and shimmying and shaking down the field, hits the ground about 6 times before an Orangeville player has the opportunity to even lay a hand on it, and the clock is a-running.
So, yep, another to listen. If you like coach talk or football talk, WCCI every Saturday morning, 9 o'clock, the Coach's Corner with Brian Roosh. That's a must-listen to every Saturday morning. There's another good, the View from the West, Greg Armstrong. Has a good podcast out there. Does a really good job covering all Northwest Illinois, and they do a good chunk of 8-man football.
I do want to mention number 38, White for Orangeville. He's up, moving around. Looks like he's recovered from that head-to-head hit earlier in the first half. So very happy to see that.
As first carry is in there, trying to see the number on that Bronco. 23, Sadi.
Matt Sadi with the carry.
Stopped in there by Sid Moore.
Bastion's back at quarterback now for Orangeville.
23 Sadis. It does look like no gain on the play. The Missiles are going with the first team defense here to start the second half.
May be giving themselves a little additional time to get themselves organized.
It could be trying a new look or something different. So Bastion going to pitch it to Sadi, makes one man miss, and Sarber in there on the tackle, but gets him in the backfield for about a 2-yard loss.
In talking to the Milledgeville coaching staff before the game, there was a little bug that was running through the Milledgeville team this week. So we may have some people feeling puny and not fully recovered. Again, health and safety is the number one priority in every sport.
It looked like Schofield was getting some drinker taped up here on the bench now. He walks up to the sideline here ready to check back in perhaps.
Yeah, it's gonna take a big rope to keep him off the field.
Bastion going to roll to his right, throws across and picked off by Sarber. Sarber's got it at the 25. He's down inside the 10, going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. Caleb Sarber making one more play for the player of the game perhaps here, but Sarber gets his hands on the ball and going to be marked about the 6. They're going to have him out of bounds at.
Paxton Bastion, the quarterback who threw the interception, made the tackle. Big hit out of bounds. There was a short discussion afterwards. Paxton kind of patted him on the helmet as if to say, yep, you guys got me again.
So 1st and 10.
1st and goal. 6-yard line.
1st and goal at the 6. Francis under center. Sarber in the backfield. Sarber's going to get the carry, and he gets tripped up down near the 4-yard line.
Sarber pert near made a cartwheel on that one.
So 2nd down and goal, ball on the 4-yard line.
I think the goal for this offensive series is to get Sarber in the end zone.
I believe that's it. Spencer and I swap position with him. He goes from fullback to guard. And going to hand it to Sarber, and he's going to be in. Spencer and I clearing the way for him there. 4 yards. Sarber is on the board with his first touchdown of the season.
You want to get your big offensive lineman in the end zone anytime you can. So that 5'4", 145-pound kid who thinks he's 6'6" and 310 just made it into the end zone.
I was going to say, normally that's a big man touchdown when your right guard scores a touchdown, but Sarber rumbles in 4 yards for the Missile touchdown. As Francis under center here for the 2-point conversion. Gonna pitch it to Promenschinkel. Promenschinkel's gonna get the edge, and he's in. 2-point conversion, good. 7:27 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Milledgeville 58, Orangeville 0. We'll be back in 60 seconds on your sports leader, WCCI. Thank you to our sponsors tonight, including the Milledgeville State Bank, the Millwheel Tavern, Selman Electric, Gibbs Drywall, Bushman Service, Ruby's Coffee Coach, Ewers Garage, Boss Roofing, FBFM, EVS Hobbies, Duncan Land, Wally's Place, McKenna's Flooring, Kness Heating and Cooling, American Quality Windows, Waisner Farms, Living Good Charter, Pearl City Elevator, and RNH Seed Solutions. Welcome back here to Orangeville High School. Missiles tack on another score here. They lead 58-0. I apologize. I don't know if Lily Biller, our camera girl, did it. We had told her to zoom in on our coaches. We always, especially the ladies, our fans always want to know what Coach Robles wearing, but we were going to share it today when we had zoomed in on Coach Caravia as that kick recover, run up to the 35-yard line. Saunders on the tackle. Roble looking dapper as always with his black polo and khaki shorts today, but we're going to focus on Coach C, your neighbor here today, Joe.
That's right, looking good, and quite frankly, he can't help but look good. Rocking the steely gray shorts with the Coach Roble Signature Series black polo for the day.
The only, other than being a Rams fan, the guy's all right.
Roble wearing white shoes after Labor Day. Somebody's going to have a talk with him about that.
It's been a hot topic on especially the YouTube channel of the white shoes, the throwback Nikes they almost look like. 4:50 to go here in this third quarter. Here's Alex Chafee in on the defensive line here for the Missiles. Benny Mickelson back in there at cornerback as well. As Comprue going to take the snap under center, going to hand it to Schofield, and he's tackled in the backfield by Chafee and Sarber for a 1-yard loss.
Schofield with a carry, no gain. 2nd and 10.
So, like we talked about, Milledgeville starting to cycle in some younger guys, giving a rest to the starters. Next week, Milledgeville's got RCL on the schedule.
Whole, like a hockey line change there now, Joe, as he sends in.
Wholesale substitutions, they call it.
A whole new substitution.
We'll try to get them entered into the official record here when we can.
So, yep, Saunders is in, but yeah, after this play, we'll go over some numbers and new players on the field here for the Missiles. Comprue in the backfield, going to hand it to Bissell. Bissell around the right side, tackled by Saunders. If you got some names and numbers, go ahead, Joe.
71, Wyatt House is checked into the game, as well as 63, Gabe Pauley. Gabe's a 5'7", 200-pound junior. House is a 5'10", 250-pound senior. See who else we got out there. Blake Wooden, number 33, 5'11" freshman, 160-pounder.
Did you see? I missed it. Gabe Pauley. Did you read him?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yep.
63.
Yeah. Ebersole, Promenschinkel, Wooden, Chafee, and House. So yeah, defensive line is Wooden, Pauley, House, and Chafee. Linebackers Ebersole and Saunders, or Ebersole and Promenschinkel. Corners Mickelson and Saunders. Nice gain here by Schofield. He's out in the open, 45 down to the 40-yard line.
Schofield down to the 37-yard
About 23 yards on that carry. The most room he's had all day, Joe.
Yeah, well, they moved him out of the quarterback position. Brock Comprue was the quarterback on that play. So trying to get their speedster shimmy shake specialist Schofield a little clean air to run through.
So 1st and 10 for the Broncos. Ball on the Missiles' 37-yard line. Most of the same guys. Conroe still in there. Same line. Just a couple new pieces in the backfield for the Broncos as well. Sadi's been in there getting some carries. Comprue is in there at quarterback. Gets it out to Sadi. Gets out of the tackle of Ebersole. Wooden's there. And Pauley. Nice gain of about 5 yards there. Sadi.
Good yards after the catch. Tough run, like you say, after the catch.
Sadi to Comprue. Gain of 5.
Schofield checks back into the game. Might want to make sure you have a good idea where he is on the field.
Comprue 1 for 1 for 5 yards.
Check that. Schofield is not. He's got his helmet off. He's down at the end of the team box.
Comprue now going to hand it to Bissell. Bissell, nice gainer there, tackled by Saunders and Promenschinkel. Gain of 6 there for Bissell. 1st and 10 Broncos.
Broncos starting to feel their oats a little bit here.
I got to vote for Spencer Nye, got a vote for Adamek, one for Sarber. Trayton Selman checking in from Tennessee, votes for Sarber.
None of my fans have checked in with a vote yet. I think they're waiting to see the end of this quarter, maybe.
Down to the final 43 seconds here in this third quarter. 58-0 Milledgeville on top, or Marengo if you're watching the scoreboard. This is going to be 56 with the carry here. Comprood, tackled by Promenschinkel, gain of about 5 more.
Comprood with a run. Down to the 20-yard line.
If you're new to 8-man football, you might not be used to seeing players with the numbers like 56 and 70 and 63 as ball carriers, but that's one of the beauties of the differences between 11-man and 8-man football.
That's going to be it here. That third quarter flew by, Joe.
I didn't even have I didn't get an apple donut yet. I'm not sure what's going on here.
Yeah, I was surprised you came back after halftime. But after 3, Milledgeville 58, Orangeville 0. We'll be back in 60 seconds on your sports leader, WCCI.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
Ice for your upcoming event? Look no further. Midwest Ice has you covered. Midwest Ice is Central Illinois' newest ice delivery service. We deliver ice directly to your event. Call Blaine Wrench at 309-351-8192 for a quote today.
We're ready for fourth quarter action as the Missiles are 12 minutes away from improving to 3-0 on the season. And then homecoming week next week. That's always a interesting week for coaches and players.
Well, let's not lie. Coaches hate homecoming. There's no way to sugarcoat it. Coaches hate homecoming. It's a week of distractions and oftentimes silliness and shenanigans ensue. Coaches hate homecoming.
But the community loves it.
You better believe it.
2nd and 5 here.
Get the parade and throw the candy.
2nd and 4. Oh, looks like they got the Missiles to jump here for going to result in a first down, I do believe.
Somebody was a little over anxious to get in that backfield, by golly.
Fourth penalty for 30 yards unofficially for the Missiles. Yep, I did get Jess Robles' message, I believe, unless she sent me something different.
She telling you that she lays out Coach Robles' clothes in the morning for him?
Okay. Yes, I'm sure he would be a lost man without her.
As would we all.
Yes. Okay.
Good coverage there provided by number 22, Promenschinkel. Good timing on that contact. You don't want to come in early to disrupt that play. If you have to go through the body, you have to let the receiver touch the ball first before you hit him. Good play, good timing.
Yep. Her vote was for Caleb Sarber. So I appreciate everybody sending in votes. So it's 2nd down and 10 now here for the Broncos. Comprood still in there at quarterback. 5'10" sophomore with Sadi in the backfield with them. Going to toss it to the other Comprood around the right side. And Saunders makes the tackle after a gain of 3, maybe 4. About 3 yards.
So heavily Comprood involvement on that play. Just found out that the Comproods are brothers.
Junior and a sophomore.
So as long as they get along enough to play football together, all is well.
So 3rd and 7 for the Broncos. Ball on the Missiles' 12-yard line. 10:40 and counting here in this fourth quarter. 77 is checking there. Brendan Ensley in there at left guard for the Broncos, sophomore. And it's going to be Comprue, the quarterback, around the left side. And he is in. Comprue goes 12 yards for a Bronco touchdown at the 10-16 mark.
Picked up a key block there on the play by number 3, Ethan Thompson, sophomore for Orangeville.
Oh,
hold on to your hats, folks. We're about to hear the horn.
Maybe try it after the 2-point try here, the air horn here at Orangeville.
Apparently, they're not used to having to turn on the compressor, so they weren't ready to go. So we're going to try it here after the 2-point conversion.
Yes, we're not jackhammering concrete out here. We're just
Well, there's 2 seasons in Illinois, construction and winter, so it sounds like we're in construction season.
There we go. As snap fumbled, and Bashan going to be hitting the backfield. Wooden there, Chafee, and Promenchinkle. 2-point conversion, no good. There the horn worked. So 9:06 to go. We'll be back in 60 seconds on your sports leader, WCCI.
Barkley Bills Company, a hat brand built on 2 staples, comfort and style, specializing in snapback trucker-style caps. Check out the selection or consider customs to build your business at barkleybillsco.com. Don't let the hat rack fool you. There's always room for one more barkleybillsco.com hat. Wishing good luck to all athletes this season.
Welcome back to Orangeville High School. Promenchinkle receives a kick down near his 20-yard line. Gets thrown down near the 37.
He's thrown from the 35 to the 38 where he's down. I love high school traditions. Milledgeville has their victory bell. Fulton has their steamer that goes around the track. Amboy fires off a cannon, which first time I heard it, dang near gave me a heart attack. And here in Orangeville, they got a railroad whistle that they blow when they score. So that's what you heard before we cut out for the last commercial break.
Flashback, that gives me flashbacks to 98 and the Blue Boys when they came to Floyd Dobb Field, and they remember the air horn they had in the
sir.
That's what I flashback to. Promenchinkle on the carry. Up the middle, dragging defenders all the way across midfield down near the 46-yard line.
Promenchinkle giving a glimpse of the future there. Sophomore, running with speed and power up the middle.
Yes, another weapon for the missiles. Lightning quick, Jade Promenchinkle. 6:30 to go in the ball game. 1st and 10 for the missiles. Parker Saunders in a quarterback. Center is House. Guards looks like Chafee and Wooden. Tight ends are Mickelson and a hand to Promenchinkle, as well as Rayhorn in there.
4-yard gain.
Saunders tackled in there by Conroe. So 4 more yards for Promenchinkle.
Once again, wholesale substitutions on both sides of the ball. Orangeville can only go so deep. They've got 17 kids on the roster, and I see 1 pair of jeans on the sideline, so they've only got 16 athletes to choose from.
2nd down and 6, 5:45 and counting here in the 4th quarter. Missiles lead 58-6. House under center, or Saunders under center. House setting to do the snapping duties. Saunders going to drop back to pass. Going to air it out. He's got Mickelson. Oh, hung up a little too high. Knocked down there by Sadi. Mickelson got behind the defenders, but Saunders had some pressure. He couldn't really step into that one there, Joe.
Yeah, the defensive back for Orangeville had that ball dead to rights and unfortunately ran into a teammate, so he had a little purple on purple crime there, or that pass would have been intercepted.
So first and 29, Max Lama in there on the line. 77, that's Ensley in there.
Ethan Thompson's checked in defensively as well for the Broncos.
Third down and 6 here for the Missiles. Saunders under center. Looks for Promenschinkel, nobody there, and he's going to be tackled for a loss. Close to a horse collar there.
Yeah, it was. But anyway, that was a total busted play. Quarterback turned around to hand the ball off to air. We do unfortunately have a stoppage of play as we have a Broncos player down needing some additional assistance.
Now he does.
He's off under his own steam. Thank goodness for that.
Yeah, the big sophomore, Nathan Briggs, does come under his own power to the sideline.
That's the young man who just bailed through the quarterback and probably took a little extra torque on his lower body when he took the man to the ground. So we're going to turn this into a timeout.
Yep, timeout here. 4:24 to go. We'll be back in 60 seconds on your sports leader, WCCI. Thank you to our sponsors tonight, including the Milledgeville State Bank, the Millwheel Tavern, Selman Electric, Gibbs Drywall, Bushman Service, Ruby's Coffee Coach, Ewers Garage, Boss Roofing, FBFM, EVS Hobbies, Duncan Land, Wally's Place, McKenna's Flooring, Kness Heating and Cooling, American Quality Windows, Weisner Farms, Living Good Charter, Pearl City Elevator, and RNH Seed Solutions. Welcome back here to Orangeville High School. Came back a little earlier than expected after that timeout. In a 4th and 16 play, Saunders finding Ebersole for a completion, but he needed 16 yards and looked like he got about 14 there, Joe.
Yeah, the patented Milledgeville jailbreak screen there. Executed well, just come up a little shy, turnover on downs.
14 yards, Saunders to Ebersole, but the Missiles will turn it over on downs. We'll keep it right here. We're set to resume action. 3:20 and counting here in this fourth quarter. The Missiles lead 58-6. Looking to improve to 3-0. They will be at home after back-to-back road wins. Back at home at Floyd Dobb Field next Friday night versus Rockford Christian Life. Comprud in the Bastion looks like he's going to take this snap. Comprud off to his right. Bastion drops back to pass. Pressure by Paul. He throws it up off the fingertips of 3, and boy, he got hit by his own man there.
Yeah, once again, we got some Bronco on Bronco action there. And they're giving each other a little bit of a hard time there. All in good fun, hopefully. They're not brothers, so I think it should be safe.
Pass falls incomplete. 2nd and 10. Good rush there in the middle by Gabe Pauley.
You know, that's the thing. When the younger guys come in, they want to prove themselves. They're playing full speed just as hard as everybody else.
2:20 and 2:25 and counting. 2nd and 10 for the Broncos. Bastion out of the shotgun here once again. High snap, but he tracks it down. Now he looks to take off. Bastion, nice open field tackle there by Mickelson after a gain of about 2.
Very good tackle there. Mickelson pinning the ankles together. That tackle was reminiscent of an older Missile football player. Blake Kappas was really good at that, finding a guy's ankle and getting him to the ground really, really fast.
It's a good fundamental breakdown there for Mickelson. Under 2 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter. Said Orangeville will be back in action next week at River Ridge next Friday night. There was a couple other Saturday 8-man games. South Fork at Pawnee and Metro East at Martinsville going on today. I've not seen any scores of them, but down to the final minute 30. Comprud now in at quarterback to take this snap. Sadi off to his right. Comprud backs up, gets it to Sadi, and almost picked off by Eversole. Spins out of his tackle, and Promenschinkel and Chafee finally get him down as Eversole gets back up and joins the play. As Eversole was dreaming of pick six when he seen that ball float out there, Joe.
And as you see on the sideline, Coach Roble giving him a hard time about making that triangle with your hands for a proper catch.
I'm not sure if Coach Roble was signaling for a pick six or if he's signaling for a sandwich over there.
That's a call-ahead order.
Down under a minute to go here in this fourth quarter. Briggs back to punt. Gets it off. Back to receive this is Promenschinkel at his own 30. Bobbles it. Picks it up at the 36. Makes one man miss. He's to the 40. 45, 50. This one's coming back for a block in the back here on the sideline.
Can't let that one go.
As Promenschinkel knocked out of bounds there. And now he's down, so hoping he's okay there on the sideline. Took a hard hit along the sideline.
Talking about other 8-man games today, Pawnee 20, Salt Fork 0 at the end of the third quarter. Their matchup today.
As that's going to be the final play of the game. That's Promenschinkel being attended to on the sideline. So not a note that you want to end a ball game on an injury on the sideline here. As Promenschinkel down, but that's going to do it here. Your final from Orangeville. Milledgeville 58, Orangeville 6. As the Missiles dominant in every phase of the game here in this one, Joe.
Yeah, again, an embarrassment of riches. Right now, my concern is young man still on the ground on the sideline over there. But so that is we don't want to minimize the importance of what's going on over there. But yeah, Milledgeville spread the ball around. It was a dominating performance from beginning to end.
As we're going to have our player of the game here afterwards. I'll go over stats here unofficially, which most of these were done in the first half here. Stats for the Broncos. Schofield, 17 carries, 85 yards. Bissell, 5 carries for 10 yards. Gustafson, 2 carries for -3. Sadi, 2 carries for -2. And Comprud, 2 carries for 8 yards. Through the air, Schofield 2 for 10 for 16 yards and an interception. Bastion 0 for 2. Comprud 2 catches for 23 yards. Gustafson 1 for 2. A couple turnovers for the Broncos. And now for the Missiles, unofficially first half. And for the Missiles, most of this damage again done first half. Tom Smith 2 carries, 13 yards. Spencer Nye 4 carries for 117. Johnson 1 carry for 5. Promenschinkel 3 carries for 23. Sarber 2 carries for 6 yards and a touchdown. He had an interception as well. Through the air, just a ho-hum performance here for Francis. 6 for 8, 134 yards, 5 touchdowns. Saunders was 1 for 2, 14 yards. Johnson 2 receptions, 33 yards, 2 touchdowns. Livingood 3 receptions, 2 touchdowns, 81 yards. Tom Smith 1 catch, 20 yards and a touchdown. And Ebersole 1 catch for 14 yards as well. So just lots of weapons all over the field for Coach Roble and the Missiles here, Joe.
And they utilize them early and often.
As like Coach C, coaches had talked as well. Looks like Spencer Nye is going to get the nod for player of the game here today. Could have gone a handful of Missiles. This job is not easy. I know.
Are you going to argue with anybody getting it at this point? So
yeah, 4 carries, 117 yards all over the field. Like I said, Caleb Sarber was up there in the running. I know Dalton Adamek again. So, like I said, it's not easy choosing that player of the game, but we will talk to him in the post-game show. Any other comments here to wrap up the WCCI coverage here today?
Yeah,
Nope.
This was a lot of fun. Milledgeville's a fun team to watch. You don't want to, ignore some of the great performances also by the Orangeville players. Hayden Schofield was an absolute warrior today. He's actually on the sideline getting a little extra attention and getting some hydration over there. So we certainly wish him the best and hope everything's all right with him. But Milledgeville is going to make sure they get healthy. They're going to reload for homecoming. They need to make sure that they don't look too far down their schedule and get tripped up by a silly trap game. But, there's a town 11 miles away who has Milledgeville's attention all season, every season. So don't start thinking too early about polo. You got a game to play next weekend, and go out and get them.
Yep, and they got as well a new rivalry, the county rivalry back with West Carroll. That's, like you said, don't want to look too far ahead, but that's shaping up to be a battle of unbeatens there in Week 5 as well. But like you said, enjoy the homecoming week, all the festivities with that, and Milledgeville does a great job. That's a small-town tradition of homecomings is always a big deal. Just get through the week. Take Rockford Christian Life. Robles done a good job of keeping the team focused, but get through next week and have fun, but then continue to stack wins.
Don't beat yourself.
Yes, as that's going to wrap up our coverage here from WCCI at Orangeville. Once again, your final, Milledgeville 58, Orangeville 6. Stay tuned on the YouTube broadcast. We'll have player of the game Spencer Nye joining us, as well as hopefully Coach Roble. So once again, I'd like to thank our engineers back in the studio at WCCI, Susan and Gentry. Thank you guys. Did a great job as always. So thank you for listening, and have a great afternoon. All right, welcome back here to the post-game show here live on our YouTube stream. Kyle Leach joined by player of the game, Spencer Nye. Once again, we had several to choose from, Spence, but you guys had received several votes. 4 carries, 117 yards, and a 70-yard touchdown run. Is that your longest touchdown run of your career?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, but the line, talk about the line paving the way, a lot of those times unblocked. Just talk about your line play there, Spence.
Yeah, well, I get a little mad when I know like a play's open and when the line doesn't block downfield, but I don't think I give them enough credit for that, but they do. I like running behind Dalton. He's fun.
He's fun. And you're running behind the big guard of Sarber there, too. Is he hard to see around up there when he's blocking in front of you?
I don't think they see him coming.
But no, talk about to improve to 3-0. You guys get another back-to-back road wins, and just talk about the Saturday game. How do you feel about a Saturday game? You a fan of Saturday afternoon games or not, Spencer?
I hate Saturday games, and I could maybe do it week 7, but not week 3 when it's still blazing hot. I was out in my pants, and I was like, oh gosh, this is going to be a rough game.
All right, so we're going to try to get the notes when we do these post-game interviews. What's your go-to pre-game meal? What do you have before a game, Spence? How much before a game? Nothing today. All right. Now, homecoming week, what's your favorite tradition about homecoming week here at Milledgeville?
I love volleyball. I like doing the Ironman volleyball?
Ironman volleyball. All right.
I'm very competitive.
All right, and just overall, you name your favorite food or favorite drink. What's Spencer and I's go-to meal or drink?
Drink is Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
For sure. I drink a lot of those and get yelled at for it, but drink a lot of those and probably steak.
Probably steak.
We had steak pregame or for our meal this week, so that was great.
All right, and Joe Letty mentioned it. We love the way you play the game, Spence. Every play, extremely hard. We loved. It was already 50-0. You go diving, and you're upset that you didn't make a diving play at midfield. Just talk about that interception. What did you see when you were back in coverage?
Well, I knew like they run specific plays out of that, so I knew just like what my guy was gonna run, and I knew they needed something deep. So I was already starting to go back, and I've dropped probably 2 already that I thought I should have got, and that's one of them that it makes me really, really upset.
Well, thanks for joining us post game here. Make sure you thank Chad Selman when you see him. He does our sponsors of our Selman Electric Player of the Game. Like I said, if you can't get a hold of the other 4 guys in Milledgeville, call Selman Electric. So we appreciate Chad Selman every week doing that. So thanks again, Spence, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
All right, that was Spencer Nye, our Player of the Game here. We'll be back with Coach Roble after this timeout. Back to the post-game show here from Orangeville High School, joined by winning coach, Coach Roble of the Missiles, and team improves to 3-0. And once again, another dominant first-half performance, coaches. You guys have had the longest first quarters in the history of I8FA football, I believe. But
it's felt like it, definitely. Yeah, I thought one of the things I challenged the guys is coming in this game. Last time we played Orangeville, they did a good job adjusting their game plan and slowing everything down, keeping the ball out of our hands. I thought that was a great defense for them last year, making things tough on us on offense. And it took us a while to get clicking in the playoffs last year. So I told our guys, hey, we got to start strong. That's the reason we received the ball, and luckily we made a couple nice plays early. Didn't look super sharp on defense to start, but then we tightened that up. Then it seemed like the points came pretty quick. Again, most phases of our game, I'm a little disappointed we didn't get a kick return or a punt return for a touchdown. That's me being a little greedy, but we did get a special teams. I probably wouldn't have pegged it being a scoop and score on a kick, but it's nice to get points on your special teams as well.
Yeah, you had Tom Smith did return a punt for a touchdown. You had a penalty that brought it back there late on a block that probably didn't need to be made. One that Micah let bounce a couple times and kind of was eyeing it. Should I pick this up or not?
Yeah, and he had guys around him too. I was real surprised he picked that, and we were able to get across the field. We had the wall set up, and I was sort of getting on Dalton's case in film the other day. He had a couple chances to pancake kids up at Alden Hebron. He would knock them down and sort of run by, and he's like, "Well, coach, I want to get next level." And I said, "Well, you land on top of him and make that a body blow." Well, he took that pretty literally there in the kick team, and the kid was already down, and he decided to get on him. So, not a heads-up play, but it's at least it's a playing hard play, not a stupid play as far as being lazy or a selfish play.
Yep, this team just so many weapons and speed all over the field. We'll talk about your freshman quarterback, start number 2. I thought he looked even more composed in week 2 to week 1. Talk about Kyson Francis and the job he did here today.
Yeah, he's doing a great job stepping in. We knew, in the summer, going through summer stuff, that Kyson had the ability to maybe get on the field quite a bit as a freshman. Evan did a great job. Evan responded. He became our guy. But we told Kyson, hey, still got to be ready. And unfortunately, Evan, when he hurt his shoulder there week 1, Kyson's done a great job learning stuff, stepping in. And, I think he had 4 TD passes.
I had him for 5, I think.
I had him 5.
6 for 8, so 6 can – I don't know. The one didn't go for a touchdown for some reason. But
yeah, that's a pretty good strat line for a freshman. And I told the guys, I think I mentioned to you last time that, hey, we have someone subbing in, a freshman subbing in. You guys need to elevate your game. The older kids need to elevate their game, make it easier on him. And I think they have. He really hasn't had any pressure in his face. Our receivers are wide open. And so they made it easier on Kyson, but he's thrown some nice footballs as well.
Yeah, that last touchdown, I don't know who that last one was to. Livingood, I believe, for 48 yards. He missed him earlier by just a little bit wide open, but he adjusted, and, man, that just a pretty pass, 48 yards down the middle.
Yeah, I think that was a case where, he was thrown into the wind so much, then he got the wind to his back and overthrew Carter a little bit. And it wasn't a bad overthrow, just I think the wind pushed it a little bit. Then you're right, he figured it out and made the adjustment, and he's got a good arm. I'd say he's probably one of our best arms as a freshman, maybe excluding Connor Nye.
Yep, and just other guys as well. But he was 6 for 8, 5 touchdowns, 134 yards through the air. But so many weapons. Like I said, Schofield, I think he had 11 carries in that first quarter for them. And then you look at the most carries for anybody was 4.
Wow,
You're able to spread the ball around. But Spencer Nye, 4 carries, 117 yards. And it's not a guy you think is going to rumble 70 yards, but he did for a touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. I always say Spencer's got some he's quick and he's downhill, but I didn't think he really had open field speed. But he had a couple nice blocks downfield, and that long run, I think it was a trap. And then he had the second one was a trap. Well, both of them were traps, actually. One was a little longer than the other. But, yeah, early in the season I was, in interviews, things like that, I said I thought we had a lot of nice weapons, and coaches are going to have to really pick their poison, who to stop. And I think that showed a little bit today because they were keen on Micah and Connor and their step Spencer to make some plays. Even receiving, too. Spencer had a touchdown, I believe.
Yep, so 4 carries, 117 yards, and a touchdown. But he was our player of the game. It's tough every week to choose from. Sarber was up there. Those two, we need a nickname for the Bash brothers, but there was something for those two just fly to the ball. Then the interchangeable guard fullback pieces. You ordered Sarber with his pick, rewarding him with a touchdown. Just talk about that sequence there.
Yeah, actually, Caleb, man, he is just so downhill as a linebacker, and he has good vision, and he's just fearless. And sometimes that's a little bit of a hindrance to him because he struggles getting depth in pass coverage. And one of the things he missed just barely missed the interception last week at Alden Hebron, and we were sort of in his ear, Coach Dautine especially in his ear, about, hey, depth is your friend as a linebacker. Well, he got depth and got that pick, almost got in, and we figured, hey, let's get him a score because he's been working hard all season. He was actually picked to captain today just because he's a grinder. He comes every day. He's not a real big guy, but he gives 100%. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, Nye and him are fun to watch, as well as your ends. I know Schofield's going to have nightmares of 54 and 48. Your defense, every play, he was under pressure from Adamek and Livingood.
Yeah, those two are a handful. They're big and they're strong and they're fast and they have good motors most of the time. I think those two are probably an underrated part of our defense. If you just hear all the names on the back end that make plays, Micah and Johnny and Spencer. They make a lot of plays, but it all starts up front because those quarterbacks can never get settled to make a play. Every time a back gets the ball, they have to adjust where they're going because they do such a good job plugging up the hole and making things tough. So Dalton and Carter, they're going to, I think, make a lot of offensive guys scratch their head. How are we going to deal with them every day?
Yep, another win on the board here, 3-0. And Coach Joe Letty here had said next week's your favorite week, homecoming week.
Yeah,
every coach's dream.
Just talked about that down in the huddle. Yeah, homecoming week. Hopefully we can stay focused. That's always the name of the game. I know sometimes the biggest concern is the guy-girl dance, which I'm glad they're happy, all excited to do. But my message is always, homecoming's week for football players is the important thing is Friday, and we got to be ready Friday, ready to go. Especially here now we're in the middle of the season. I tried to look at the season in thirds: first third, middle third, last third, and we started the way we wanted in the first third. Now we got to do the same thing in the middle third here. Always goals to go 3-0. But we have some tough opponents coming up, and we got to make sure we stay focused and keep improving on the little things.
All right. Well, thanks again for joining me, Coach, and congratulations on the victory, and good luck next week as you take on Rockford Christian Life next Friday night, homecoming at Floyd Dobb Field in Milledgeville.
Thanks so much.
All right. That was head coach Jason Roble of the Missiles. They improved to 3-0, and that's going to wrap up our coverage here from Orangeville High School. Once again, your Missiles win 58-6. Thank you guys for listening, and have a great day.